Hello, I'm Alex Clare. I'm a singer-songwriter and Orthodox Jew from northwest London in England, and I'm here to tell you a small story with a few massive elements. So I'm a professional musician, and as such have always played music. There was a stage in my life, however, about 7 years ago when I started taking my Yiddishkeit, my Judaism, a lot more seriously. Started learning Torah and investing a lot more of myself and my time into Judaism, and decided that I would start taking on mitzvahs one step at a time. First, the learning-based mitzvahs, and then kashrus, and then keeping Shabbos, being Shomer Shabbos. Around the same time I became Shomer Shabbos, I got a very significant and very substantial record deal with a record label in the UK called Island Records, which is part of Universal Music Group. Big, huge organisation who in the past have had acts like U2 and Bob Marley and Florence and the Machine and Mumford and Sons. And everything was going swimmingly. And when they signed me, I told them, there's something you have to know about me. I'm an Orthodox Jew, and as such I can't work on Friday nights or Saturday days. Okay, they were very eager to sign me, so they said, okay, fine, that's great, no problem, we'll deal with it. So they dealt with it, and time went on, and I'd made an album, and the album was about to be released, and then just by pure coincidence, even though it's a funny word in Judaism, every piece of work I was being offered for promotion of my album was on Friday night, and on Saturday day, Shabbos. So I told my record company, I'm really sorry, I can't do it. So they understood the first few times, and it all went by quite nicely. And then every other opportunity was coming in. Eventually I got offered to go on tour with a fairly successful female singer, and I said I couldn't do it because it fell over the Passover period. And then the summer came, and lots of different festivals were offered, all falling on Shabbos Kodesh, until it came to the high holidays, came to the month of Elul and then the month of Tishrei. And I told my record label, I'm really sorry, there's going to be a month here where I'm basically out of the game. I can't do gigs on Shabbos, won't be able to do gigs on the Yom Tovim, on the holidays, and I'm sorry. So they said, okay, fine, we'll just block out this period of the calendar. So Rosh Hashanah went by, no problem. Yom Kippur, great. Until Motzi Yom Kippur, when I got a phone call from my record label who told me that I had an amazing opportunity to do a live performance for the BBC the following Thursday. I thought that's very nice. The following Thursday just so happens to be one of the Jewish holidays, which has the same status as Shabbos. You can't work, obviously, on those days. So I told my record label, I'm really sorry, I can't do it. At which point they told me, if you don't do it, we're going to have to sack you. We're going to have to drop you from the label. And sure enough, that opportunity came and went over Sukkot. And they dropped me. I got sacked. I'm laughing now. At the time I wasn't laughing. At the time I was gutted. And I went to my rabbi. He's a very special man called Rabbi David Tugendhaft, who lives in London. And I told him what happened. And then I was pretty distraught. And a few months had gone by this point, and the final process of getting rid of me from the label had taken place. And I said to him, what do I do? I've made certain sacrifices for Judaism, and it doesn't seem to have worked out for me. At which point he said, look, the story of Abraham in the Torah, when he was given a massive test by God to take his son Isaac up to a top of a mountain and shecht him. And obviously he was willing to do that. He was willing to do exactly what God told him to do. And even though obviously it transpired that Yitzchak did not get shechted, thank God, that decision of Avraham Avinu, my Rav said, was the pinnacle moment in world history. That single moment when the Jewish people, the pledge that God made to Avraham Avinu, that the Jewish people would exist and would be, was as a result of that decision. And he said, no matter what you do, no matter what decision you make, if you make the right one, even though it seems really hard at the time, and it may seem so cloudy and unclear why you have to make that decision, in the long term you will get siyata d'shemaya, you'll get tremendous help from heaven. And so that's very nice, but I continued to not be able to pay my rent that month. So after losing my job and being unable to pay my rent check or any other checks, or take care of any other financial responsibilities, as I was literally down to my last pennies, and being a bit confused by the whole thing, I got an email from Microsoft, not as a performer of Too Close, but as a songwriter. They tried to contact other people, but it just hadn't happened. And eventually, through my music publishers, they got in touch with me and said, "We want to use your song for our international campaign," and they did. And as a result, that song Too Close sold just under 6 million copies, and the album has now sold around 1 million copies worldwide that Too Close was on. So literally, keeping Shabbos has given me the hugest amounts of brachos. I really feel as the result of that decision to keep Shabbos, I've had tremendous siyata d'shmaya, huge amounts of blessings from that decision. Guys, you have an opportunity to just keep one Shabbos, and please God, it will lead on to many more. But this one is just so important, and we can all keep it together around the world, and it'll be the most amazing thing. So enjoy it.